guys, I'm Daemonxel back with a new video, and this is, I want to discuss, due to being warned about things in game, I want to talk about ships that may come to the game. What if, so to speak, if we were to get some ships from EVE Online coming to the game, in EVE Echoes, if they were to come to the game, would they be cool? Let's talk about Lancers. That's right. Lancers were brought to the game last year in EVE Online as a Tech 2 capital ship. But first, like always, if you can go ahead and slap that subscribe button, ring that bell, share and like the video, then of course you'll stay up to date with everything I do here on the channel. But let's get back to what we were talking about. Lancers. So in that game, they are a Tech 2 capital ship. Now, we do not have the tech system in EVE Echoes. Otherwise, the Jump Freighters would actually be a Tech 2 because the Lancers are the second Tech 2 variation capital ship that were introduced to the game, the first being the Jump Freighters. So there you go. So even if they were to come to EVE, they would not be a Tech 2 variation. They would just be a different form of capital. What these capitals are is basically the same as the other capitals. We're going to skip over this. So they are basically frontline assaults. They do not have siege modes. They are basically mini Titans. Now, if you're wondering what that means, is yes, each of these will equip a Doomsday weapon on this as that does a variation of different things. Let's read here. The Lancers represent the first foray into, well, we don't have to do that. That's Tech 2. We don't do it with that. So basically what's going to happen is the Lance Doomsday that are designed to disrupt and manipulate the battlefield includes temporarily preventing a target from warping, tethering, we don't really have tethering in EVE Echoes, using their jump drive while also causing 50% reduction in remote repair. Now, this happens over 60 seconds. In other words, when you get hit with this, if you don't die, you will have those debuffs on you for basically a full minute. And we all know a lot can happen on the battlefield in a minute. Let's see here. Let's go a little bit further here. So there are four. Let's go to EVE. The wiki right here. So there's four ships: the Bane, the Hubris, the Canara, and the Valvrin. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but you guys know that's nothing new here. Okay, so the Bane is basically the Revelation, the upgraded version. I'm going to show you some footage of these ships as well. What this one does, the skills on this. Now, again, when we first talked about carriers coming to the game, or the super carriers, when we were talking about them, when they come to the game, because we all knew they were eventually coming to the game, what bonuses those ships could have, and we talked about what it was in EVE Online, and some of those bonuses did transfer over. But what we're looking at here in the EVE Online version is you get 5% to torpedo, cruise, and torpedo damage. So torpedo damage, 5% per skill level. You're going to 5% reduction to torpedo explosion radius. The Lancer Dreadnought bonuses per skill level are 10% bonus to the disruptive lance damage, 20% bonus to the disruptive lance maximum range, and the roll bonuses, it can fit a siege mod. Well, I don't think these are going to be able to do. I don't think we're going to have sieges for these ones in EVE Echoes. I think they're just going to be the damage basis, because you know how like you can go into, even for the sorry, I'm taking my shoes off here because my feet are killing me. 1 second, we'll be right back. Damn, that's so much better. Okay, where were we? Okay, so your dreads now have the siege modules in it, as well as the striker variation battleships. They have siege modules. I don't think that these ones have. I have not. I'd have to see them in game, and I don't know. Even if they come to the game, we'll have to wait and see. So let's go back. That was the Bane. We have the Hubris, which is the other variation of the Moros. This one gets for the Galante Dreadnought bonus, 5% bonus to the turret rate of fire, 5% reduction in armor repair cycle time, 5% bonus to all hull resistances. Again, remember, most of these probably will not transfer over. The damaged ones probably will, but I don't think they will. Now, it looks like so far both these ships are getting the same Lancer bonuses: 10% bonus to the destructive lance damage and 20% to the maximum range. Let's go to the next one, which is the Carrera. And that is off the Phoenix class. And this one you get 5% bonus to the hybrid turret tracking speed and turret optimal range. 10% per bonus level. On the Dreadnought bonus levels, the Lancer ones, you're going to the same thing. The 10% per level for damage, 20% for maximum range. And the last ship in that category is the Raven. It's basically the Nag, okay? It's Nag 2. Nag 2.0. That's what we're going to call it. Nag 2.0 because Damon cannot pronunciate correctly. Okay, so this one is going to get, yes, projectile, 10% bonus to the fall off range, and we're going to get 5% bonus to the shield booster and armor repair amount, and you're going to get the same disruptive damage and maximum rage on the Lancer stuff. So, you might wonder, well, what is the Doomsday thing? Well, okay, so these are going to have, I believe, going to be the same kind of fitting that you're going to use on your regular ones. Except it's going to probably have 4 high slots because one of these high slots is going to be fixed with your Doomsday, and that would be your Thermal Annihilator here. And as you can see here, once you get hit with it, a bunch of other things happen here. You're going to get minus 45% flight velocity, 30% shield bonus boost effect, armor repair effect goes down, turret damage goes down, missile damage goes down. All this stuff hits you, and it's just going to suck. Don't get hit with it, right? If you see it cycling up, run, because you're gonna get hit. You're gonna get hit hard. So let's look at what they have here. This is the Bane. Let's look at the video they got here. Beautiful ship. I always liked the Revelation design. I always thought it was pretty cool looking. Really nasty ship. Now again, some of the most of the ship models actually look the same from EVE Online to EVE Echoes, and that is pretty good. You're going to have your graphics on high. The Carrera right here, which is off the Phoenix class. Let's take a look at that ship. That looks pretty sweet. A little boxy for me. I was never really one for that. You know me, I'm a Galante person. So bring on the Morris hull, the Morose hull. And here we are right there. And it's sweet. It looks like the Daemonxel, right? That Tech 2, not Tech 2, that other Daemonxel ship with the skin with the copper and the silver. That's the same thing now with this one. So yes, that's going to look pretty sweet in game, unless you have a nano for it, and then it's going to look completely different. And then here is your Nag 2.0. Pretty sweet sweeping camera angle here. Can't even see the duct tape that's holding it together. Beautiful thing. All right. So again, we talked about it's going to have a Doomsday. Now, does this mean that they might bring these over instead of Titans? I don't know. I would like to see Titans brought into the game because you guys brought the super carriers over. You might as well bring the Titans over as well. But if these come in beforehand, well, I guess we're going to get introduced to Doomsday with these ones, because that was the whole Titan thing. You were able with Titans to have a Doomsday weapon to basically annihilate the battlefield, and was able to create jump bridges for additional ships. So let's go down here and look at the weapon itself. So this is the Carrera using the Lancer. As you see here, it just shoots that beam out. And on the other end of that beam, the damage that you're going to be receiving from these Lancer beams is basically going to be in proportion to your signature radius. So small ships aren't going to take as much damage as larger ships. Battleships are going to get probably destroyed. Capital ships are going to get hurt real bad by it. And here's the Nag 2.0 version of it. Here is the Morose version of it. Come on, fire. Come on now. Use your beam. Anytime now. Well, I guess it's just in a fight. It's not going to use it. There's just, I guess, just different variations of it looking in battle. It's just another video. Okay, so it's just a ship video of them in fights. But yeah, so if these ships come over, I think it's if they bring these ships over instead of the Titans, I think it's a lazy way of going about the Titans. If they were to bring them over into Eve Echoes, building them would probably be basically the same as doing your upgraded versions of the carriers, right? You're going to have to use the original hull to build this thing. I can see that these would probably cost somewhere between 100 to 200 billion each because let's face it, dreads are pretty cheap to build, right? I think it's what between I think it's around 13 billion to get a dread. So yeah, they're pretty cheap, but the module itself and the way we get things in Eve Echoes, that's where the money's going to be. It's your module itself is probably going to run you about 100 billion to get that Doomsday module, because you're not going to be able to buy them on the market. They're probably going to be coming from a special anomaly or a scout site, or you're going to have to. I don't see you getting blueprints. I don't see building these things. You're probably going to have to get them from a special anomaly to get them to drop. So yes, what is this telling you? Well, if you're playing the long game of the what if they're coming to the game, I would start stocking up on capital debris, your dread debris, because the prices of those will probably skyrocket once these things, if ever, are introduced into the game. But that's always a good thing to have anyway, right? Those traders of you out there. But this is a what if. We'll do another one right around the anniversary time when we start talking about Titans, because around the anniversary time is probably when Titans are going to be coming out if they are ever to come into the game. So I hope you guys found this entertaining, informative, all that good stuff. And also, if you guys want more news, you always should go over and listen to the Echoes from New Eden podcast with Rambo and Taylor Rick, sometimes me. It's a great show. We break a lot of news over there. We get, censored by mods sometimes for what is said. That's floating around. But we'll talk about that in the community news video when I drop that one. But this is a what if Lancers were to come to Eve Echoes. Not when, what if. Big distinction. So until I talk to you guys again, fly safe. And remember, here we're always one vision, one purpose, one front.